Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. So today is November the 1st, 2021, and I'm going to be doing a special video today around Mother Earth and the environment, and it has been prompted by the COP26 conference that is taking place in Glasgow, Scotland, for the next 12 days. So it feels as though there's going to be some quite powerful information and channeling that comes through in this video. Interestingly, the guides that are stepping forward to help with this video, of course, we've got Archangel Metatron, my main guide, Sandalphon as well, the elements, but Joseph. And I was really feeling Joseph's energy. And by Joseph, I'm talking Joseph, the father of Jesus, okay? And I was wondering why he was stepping forward. And he's saying, and I'm reminded that every time I tune into Joseph's energy, there is a real humbleness. And it's as though we have to come before this whole discussion and debate, which Spirit appreciates is heated. And it's as though, humanity is hot under the collar because we may have to change our behaviours. And human beings don't like doing that, is what I'm hearing. So Joseph coming forward as a beacon of humbleness, I'm seeing him barefoot to help us at this time. But I also feel it's because he holds the fathering archetypal energy. And I also feel Father God very strongly as well. Now, before we get into what COP26 is and all the rest of it, I'm also going to pull some cards. I'll just say at the start, I'm going to pull some cards linked into the energy at the start of the conference, which is today. I think they all actually gathered yesterday on the 31st, but it starts officially today in terms of debates. I'm going to pull some cards on for the start, for the end, for some cards halfway through, bridge energies. I'm going to look at what Mother Earth wishes to say. I'm going to look at Greta Thunberg. I'm going to look at the youth of our world and what they may wish to say, and anything else that wants to come through. Now, I've got quite a few different decks sitting here on my desk. I will name all of them in the comments below, or the description box below. But just tuning, that's Bella sighing behind me, if you can hear a dog in this video. She's helping to ground this video, because this is the truth, you see. When we talk about Mother Earth and our planet, it isn't just about us. It's about every living thing on this planet. But humankind, we have this thing where we are the most important, and we really aren't. We have to work together with all living beings, and that includes our forests and the elements, etc. Anyway, I've pulled two cards, and my nose is now itching like crazy, which always says that I'm onto something. And I'm just going to show you, because to be honest, they speak for themselves. These two cards came out as I was just sitting down to do this video today. The first is the card of sorrow, and the second is the card which says Father of the Sky. Now, actually, and I'm also realising, those of you that are on Instagram with me, I did a sort of jokey video yesterday for Halloween, and I just pulled a couple of cards right at the end of that video from this deck. And I better just get the card out, because it was the last card I pulled yesterday on the 31st, which it's still on the bottom of the deck, which was the day, as I say, that they officially started. And look, can you see why I'm showing it to you? Again, we've got Father, we've got the Father energy, Father God. This is basically Father God, okay? And interestingly, we have got two representations of eagle there as well, seeing from a higher perspective, which of course is what God does. But look at the card that goes with this. It's the card of sorrow. Now, and it's the sorrow as God, the universal power, the creator, whatever you want to call him, her, it, looks down on planet Earth. We are just one planet in this whole solar system, and there is some degree of sorrow in terms of how it's panning out down here, particularly linked into how we are looking after her. And by her, I'm talking about Mother Earth. I then pulled 3 cards from another deck, and I got these, and this to me is, this is the choice that we have at the moment, to stay in a, what I'm calling, but I'm also hearing, I'm hearing a diminishing planet, diminishing in stature, I'm hearing, diminishing in size. Size seems to be linked into power and influence in the wider universe. And I'm just hearing the word diminishing. We are a star at the end of the day. Mother Earth is a star, and it's as though her light is fading. It's not out. We know that the lights don't go out, but this is like a call to action. Okay, so Father God in sorrow at what's going on down here, linked into the environment. And then we have these 3 cards, which is it's the other, it's what we could do if we choose. These are 2 cards of choice, okay? We have the card of choice and we have the Lovers, which is also the card of choice, okay? Double choice, 2 choices. Interesting I'm saying it like that, 2 choices. It feels as though this opportunity is what I'm hearing, this opportunity, which is so much more than the leaders that are gathered, who are just going to be doing their thing, doing the secret handshakes behind closed doors, all of that, money, we all know what goes on. But what I'm hearing is there is an opportunity here that is so much bigger than the leaders of our world, which is that over the next 12 days, the spotlight of billions of people around the world, I'm just seeing people sitting down, they're having their dinner, they're having their breakfast, they're sticking the TV on, they're opening up a newspaper, they are hearing the radio, and COP26. It's like it's going to be filtering into our consciousness whether we like it or not. Now, much of the words is going to go over people's head, and I'm hearing you don't have to take in a lot of the words. It's more that this is a portal here for mankind to make a choice. And it's more to do with individual choice rather than governments telling you what you have to do, which is, this is a return to Eden, you see. Look at these 2 cards. They are almost contrast of each other. This is a planet which feels as though it's diminishing. I'm hearing we're taking more and more. We're taking more liberties, I'm hearing. It's almost as though it's almost like an energy of you're taking the mick, you know, putting it politely. You're taking the mickey here. You know, it's a planishing of diminishing returns. Humanity is just taking, and particularly the richer countries, such as the one that I live in. We're all guilty of it. We all have to put our hands up and say that we take more than we need, because the truth is most of us do. Not everybody. I realise some people who watch me, for example, are homeless, they're living on the street, you know, but a lot of us have got more than we actually need. So diminishing planet versus a planet of plenty for all, a planet of abundance. Eden doesn't have doors that are barred to certain sectors of society, okay? Eden is a place of play and plenty, and it's, you know, this is our choice at the moment. So that is the context in which we're going to be speaking today. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. This deck that I just used was from the Aboriginal Dreamtime Oracle, descriptions below. This deck is from the 5th Tarot. I'll try and give shout outs to the decks, but as I say, it'll all be below. Right, let's get to the bones then of what we're doing here. What the hell is COP26? For those of you that don't know, there are 200 countries that are being represented in a conference which is called COP26, which stands for the UN Climate Change Conference. It's being hosted by the UK. I believe it's a joint presidency thing also with Italy as well at the moment. So we have an Italian influence as well. 200 countries coming to Glasgow, and they have 4 targets. These are their targets at the start of it. I'm just going to read them out. There's not many words, but it's important we get the context right. Number 1, countries are being asked to come forward with ambitious 2030 emissions reduction targets that align with reaching net zero by the middle of the century. To deliver this, they are talking about accelerating the phase out of coal, curtailing deforestation, speeding up the switch to electric cars or vehicles, and encouraging investment in renewables. Number 2, point 2, adapt to protect communities and natural habitats. It's about protecting and restoring ecosystems, building defences and warning systems and resilient infrastructure and agriculture to avoid loss of homes, livelihoods and even lives. This can all sound very like, oh yeah. But actually, it hits very close to home. Many of you are actually living in places where you've got extreme fires, you're having to move, drought, the water just is not coming. Without water, you can't have cities and towns of millions of people. Even where I live, in my little part of the UK, I'm on the south coast of England. Worst case scenario, where I'm living at the moment, it's if rising sea levels, we're going to be, this house is not sustainable. So, it does hit very close to home, this stuff, but nothing is set in stone. We can be working towards helping Mother Earth in her hour of need, because to be perfectly honest, Father God is asking us to. And this has got less to do with politics and, as I say, these leaders, and far more to do with our home and our basic need, which should be to look after her, because then she looks after us as well. Okay, point number 3, there's 4 points. Mobilise finance. So they're talking about mobilising at least 100 billion in climate finance per year by 2020. International financial institutions must play their part. And we need work towards unleashing the trillions in private and public sector finance required to secure global net zero. Okay. Point number 4, work together to deliver, to finalise the Paris Rulebook and accelerate action to tackle climate crisis through collaboration between governments, businesses and civil society. That's it. I mean, if you followed all of that, good for you. Some of it went over my head, I have to be honest, but ultimately you can read up on it for yourself. Let's get to the cards and let's get to the guidance. So the first thing to say, which I do not think is a coincidence, is the fact that the day that all of these leaders met and congregated on the 31st was Halloween, okay? It was also a day where an X1 class solar flare started to arrive here on Mother Earth. I'm seeing the card from the tarot. I haven't got a traditional tarot deck to hand to show you. I've got virtually everything else on my table. The sun, okay? The sun highlights everything. The sun is a good card actually in the tarot. But yeah, huge X1 class solar flare coming in to highlight this particular gathering, this particular meeting, putting it on under the spotlight. Also, I'm hearing turning up the heat on the attendees that are there. Now, it has to be said at this juncture that certainly Russia and China have not turned up. I believe they might be participating via video link. So, but anyway, as I say, it's far less about the actual leaders. It's more about us having the ability to create a portal here. Okay. I'm going to pull some cards now for the start of this conference. And I want to tune into the energies of it at the start. Okay, so the start of COP26. Show me the energies, please. Show me the energies as people arrive and this conference starts. Show me the energies, the intentions. How's it looking? We have the Three of Pentacles and we have the Seven of Pentacles. Interestingly, this card, the Three of Pentacles, which in this deck is linked into recognition. When I was putting my flowers out today, this particular flower, the sunflower, was reminding me that the sunflower is the one that pokes its head highest above the fence. And I got the message from the sunflower that there's going to be leaders there. I don't know who they are yet. They're not revealed to me and I'm not being shown them. But it's as though there's a bit of gesturing and court play I'm hearing to see who is going to come out of it with the perception that they've done really well. You know, it's as though a number of the leaders there want to be able to come back to their countries and be seen to have been the one that, I don't know, got the deal through, or be the shining star, basically. And it's interesting because the Three of Pentacles card is actually the one which is usually about working together. So hopefully they are going to work together. And actually, in many ways, these are quite positive cards for the start of it. I have to say, though, it's all about money. You know, the Pentacles is two cards that's all about money. Shall we see what's on the bottom of the deck? Another Pentacle card. Okay, it's another Pentacle card. Four of Pentacles. So we've got 4, 7 and 3. So we've got 14 Pentacles. 14 Pentacles. That's a lot of money changing hands, okay? I'm hearing the energy of what's in it for me. You know, you rub my back and I'll rub yours. Money speaks louder than words. And it's almost like I'm just feeling money, money, money. You know, it's the ABBA song, money, money, money. It's like I've straight away, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this, like, where is Mother Earth in this? Where is Mother Earth in this? Where are her needs? Because you see, if we go back to this card, I'm not being too simplistic here when I talk about Eden, because I do realise that Eden is also going to require commerce. You know, we still are going to have to learn, and we're going to have to trade, and we have to live, and we have to eat, you know, and there will still be consumption, but it's going to be a different system where money isn't the god. Money is not the god in Eden. Money is a means to an end, is what I'm hearing. Whereas right now, this planet, this diminishing planet, the leaders, and I'm hearing they're all guilty. It's just about money makes the world go round. Money makes the world go round. Four of Pentacles here is the card of stability. Let me just tune into this. So the start of start of COP26. Okay, I'm feeling this card of stability is more about them wishing to not rock the boat, basically, to maintain the status quo, paying lip service to what actually needs to be done, what the needs of Mother Earth may be. I'm also feeling that this card of stability in the Four of Pentacles is very much about keeping the money where it is at the moment. There's a lot of hot air I'm hearing linked into helping other poorer nations who probably will be the ones most impacted by changing climate. But this is all like, no, I'm just going to keep feathering my nest. I'm going to keep feathering my nest. The words that are coming out of my mouth might be saying one thing, but behind my back, you know, I'm doing something else. Okay, I'm signing something else behind my back. Or if I'm basically saying that I'm going to be doing something, I think children used to do this. It's almost like if I cross my fingers, it doesn't really count, that type of energy. So, sorry to be so depressing, but that is what I'm getting at the start. Let's just pull one from another deck as well, just to get a different flavour from another deck. Let's go for this one. This is the Sacred Earth Oracle. So the start of COP26. Fragments. Yeah, look at that. Card of fragments. I don't want to look at the whole picture. I don't actually want to look at the whole thing. I don't want to look at the whole thing. I just want to look at my little place. I just want to look at my little Australia. I just want to look at my little UK. I just want to look at my America. I just want to look at my France. Is they've all got vested interests, okay? I mean, can we see now why Father God is just sorrowful? Because it's like no one is placing Mother Earth centre stage and truly caring about her. I'm talking about here in terms of these leaders. There may well be other people that do care, but I'm hearing they're outside the building. I'm going to pull some cards on that in a minute, okay? So, yeah, we've got fragments. I only want to see part of it. Never noticed that in this card before. Can you see on her hand there's a little eye? It's like secret society. It's like the old boys club. Even if there's a few women thrown in there, it's the same old, same old. You know, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. It's the whole, secret handshake. I said it at the start. What the eyes don't see is what I'm hearing. What the eyes don't see, it's sleight of hand. It's moving things around the table for the sake of moving things around the table. I will give you a bit of this, but actually I'm then going to take away X, Y, Z as a result. So I'm going to make a gesture that I'm helping the forests or this country there that really need help because they're poor. But actually, it's all a sleight of hand. It's all a sleight of hand. This isn't going to go down well with this guy. Okay, is the first thing to say. He's come up twice. Okay, Father God has come up twice. Now, and I said earlier, we've got two choices, two opportunities. I want to say that what I'm picking up here is that, I mean, don't forget, I've only read on the start of it. It could get better, but don't hold your breath. If they don't achieve anything particularly meaningful and just this rules the day, sleight of hand, push it to one side, just shuffle papers around the table, we will be given another choice and another opportunity. And this time it will be it won't be voluntary is what I'm hearing. It's strange. As I'm tuning into the reading of this, I have respect for the leaders on the stage because we have to respect them because they are an aspect of us. Whether you like them or you don't like them, a big portion of your population in your country voted them in. Okay? They reflect where we are now. But I keep picking up this energy of it's like, but they're not really the ones that are important here. It's almost as though whatever is said, whatever is done over the next, it's all a show. It's all just a show. It's a very expensive show as well, with people bust in from, everywhere else, lots of different places around the world. But the real opportunity lies outside the conference walls. I'm wondering whether I think there's going to be a real rallying of people coming together to protest. It's like a revolutionary type energy. So I'm just going to pause the camera for one moment because I need to go and do so. I need to have a wee. Okay, just be real. I need to go and have a wee. We need a loo break. Okay, it's almost like humanity needs a loo break. Hold on a minute. I'll be back. Okay, without wishing to be crude, the release of water feels almost symbolic, and I wonder whether the second opportunity, which is not voluntary, to change our ways, might be triggered by a water event. Okay, a water event in our world, and I'm feeling that could be either shortage of water wars basically, or a water event linked into places such as where I am here potentially being underwater or flooding or tsunami, or there's no getting around it that water is going to be one of the things that we either learn. We have to master the element of water. We have to master our emotional worlds. We have to learn to share. We have to learn to play. There is enough for all. Okay, let's now get into some different cards. So that's the start. Let's pull a couple for the finish. And then I want to look at Greta, youth. Might look at a few of the world leaders as well and their intentions. As it stands today, and this could change because it's the 1st of November as I'm pulling this, and events may happen in between these 11 or 12 days that change the cards that I'm about to pull. But as it stands today, show me the final energy of COP26. We have swords, which is the Six of Swords, which is traditionally the Six of Swords is a card of walking away, okay? Boundaries, it says here. Unfortunately, on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. And in this one, it says contentment. I feel it's almost as though unless events play out over the next 11, 12 days to change this timeline we're on, nothing much changes. The world leaders walk away from it content that their vested interests are protected, that money is still talking. But I tell you what's the next card up is after that. The Tower, linked to the King of Pentacles, and the Chariot, I'm going to just keep carrying on, and the Moon. That says to me that Father God will be heard. You know, Father God, Mother Earth will be heard. If you walk away from me and you do not listen, and this has got nothing to do, by the way, with the Old Testament vengeful God. You know, that's not what I'm channeling here. This is a God of love who cares for you, for me, for this planet, this galaxy, this universe. And sometimes tough love is required to steer us back to a safer harbour. So if you walk away with nothing really having happened, just maybe new contracts having been signed behind, you know, closed doors, you won't hear that in the papers necessarily, you know, money going into the same old hands, the universe isn't having anything of it. The Tower, the foundation will fall, not sure when, but it will fall. And it's going to be linked into the King of Pentacles, those who control the money, not having it. It's going to happen fast. And you're not going to see it coming, the Moon. Okay? Because, well, not even because, just that's what I'm reading. Okay. Right. Let's pull a couple of cards at this stage on some of our world leaders. I'm not going to do all of them, but let's just see what their energy is like and their intentions as we go into this conference. I am going to read for Boris because he's my Prime Minister where I live, and equally he's co-hosting it with the Italian PM. Boris is on, you see, I have read on Boris Johnson a few times, and those of you that follow me regularly know that I've said this on record, that I feel within him, I mean, he's obviously part of the old boys club, he's an old Etonian, he's got loads of money, all the rest of it, yeah, I know all that. But I still kept picking up an environmental energy around Boris. I even think I picked it up when he was ill, you know, a year and a half ago. Now, it could also be influenced by his wife, Carrie Symonds, who is quite, you know, vocal with regards to, for example, animal rights and the environment. Okay, I'm hearing, before I even pull a card, I'm hearing his heart's in the right place, linked into the environment, but his hands are tied. Okay, so that might be the confusion. That might be what I'm picking up, because I'm almost picking up the energy of Boris at home, sitting on his sofa before he, you know, gathers his energy and his strength to go up to Glasgow and host this bloody thing. And it's like he does actually want it to go well, but when he gets there, it's maybe a whole different kettle of fish. He has actually come out today and said we are how's he actually expressed it? 1 minute before midnight or something, is that what he said? It's a minute to midnight. Desperate Boris, I'm just reading a headline here. Desperate Boris welcomes leaders to Glasgow summit, warning it is a minute to midnight to stop climate disaster. The Turkish president's staying away as well. Chinese president will not even give a virtual speech. Okay, so China's totally out of the equation. You see, when we read things like that, you think, well, what's the point? China's not there. They produce all of this, emissions, etc. But it's almost like we've got to come back to the energy of Father God and Mother Earth, because the analogy I'm being given in my head is, say, for example, you saw somebody in the street that was starving, hungry and naked and ill and depressed and, just horrendous, okay? Would you walk past them because you knew somebody else, it was somebody else's job really to do it? Somebody else, maybe had better equipment or whatever to be able to help. It's the words of Jesus really. It's almost like where you see the need and when you act, that's when you're holding the Christ energy. One of the things my dad always drilled into me as a little girl was, whoever said life had to be fair. Very Saturnian, isn't it? But it's true. Whoever said life had to be fair. It's almost like we've got to get away from being kids in the playground. I mean, we are basically kids in God's playground, but we can act a bit more grown up than being the child that throws its toys out of the pram because, well, I'm not changing because you're not. What about them over there? When we really feel into that energy of pointing out the likes of China, and of course they should be there, I totally understand that, but they're not. So what are we going to do? We're going to throw our toys out of the pram and just say, well, there's no point then, is there? Because they're not going to be there, so there's no point us changing. What's the words that we follow so much on our spiritual path, that change starts with us? It's not about change starts with us when we've seen the big man over there do it, okay? The big man over there or that group, they may never do it. They're only going to do it when they're forced to the table. And they're forced to the table when other people stand up and demand change, but equally are the change, is be the change. Right, let's pull a couple of cards for Boris then. So he's saying we're a minute to midnight. Oh God. Yeah, I mean, it's confirming what I feel. Bloody hell. Oh my God. So I'm not saying, oh my God, in terms of it's terrible. It's just like the cards are really spot on. Ace of Swords. He's going into it with the right intention. I really believe that, okay? And I'm not his biggest fan, but I believe on this cause, there is a part of him that actually wants it to succeed. Even if it's down to ego and he wants to be the tallest sunflower, the one that everyone says, oh, look, Boris has done this, he's achieved that. It might even be for that reason, but he's going into it. He wants to make a difference. We need to cut through this. But then we've got the Five of Swords. Victory, but at what cost? If I push this through, and I really keep pushing them, because it's pretty full on to come out on the cusp of this and say we're a minute to midnight, in terms of climate disaster. He's really being pretty, full on and with it all. If I'm going to have no friends left. I'm going to be the only one on the battlefield, I'm going to have no friends left. I'm going to be on my own. Where are the other voices? Where are the other voices saying this stuff, in that hall? Not many. Lots of people saying it outside the hall, not many in the hall. So victory, but at what cost? The card on the bottom of the deck was death. I'm going to pull another card on that because it was the bottom of the deck. Although, did I pull these from... No, I did pull these from the bottom. Yeah, after death, we then got the card of justice. We've got the Hierophant and we've got the King of Swords. Now, I mean, if we just take these three, death, the Hierophant and the, what is that? Justice, Death and the Hierophant. I mean, my God, those are powerful cards. For those of you that read tarot, He wants to do this, is what I'm feeling, because I think that's him. I mean, that's the blonde. He is blonde. Blondie. You know, there he is. That's Boris, King of Swords. I'm wielding my sword. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to go in there and stand apart from everybody else. Doesn't mean he achieves it. He's willing to wield the sword to the institutions of power. Justice. Decisions need to be made. I see him banging his fist on the table. He does mean business. It's a bit of a wish, though. The Nine of Cups is a bit of a wish. It's also his wife behind the scenes, Carrie, the Queen of Swords. Look at this. This is them. Boris and Carrie, the King and Queen of Swords. They've got strength on their side. This is their wish. I'm quite surprised to see the cards quite so vocal in terms of he actually really means this. I wasn't expecting that. As I say, he's only one person out of 200 countries, so doesn't mean he succeeds, but that's his energy. Should we have a look at Biden? Now, what deck shall I use for Biden? What are his intentions? Let's go for the Tarot Grand Lux. I want to use different decks because if we get the same cards coming out, it's quite interesting, isn't it? I want to see Joe Biden's energy as he goes into COP26. Okay, I'm hearing in my head, I mean, I did see this in the news. I think he turned up an hour late for the first, I don't know, conference or interview or something. He apologised. He said there was a problem with the elevators. He joked about it. I'm hearing in my head, it's like a sliding door moment. What do I mean by sliding door? What do you mean by sliding door? When I say it depends which Joe Biden turns up, I realise that lots of people are going to say, oh, she believes he's a clone. No, I don't believe he's a clone. If you do, it's fine, okay? This video is not about that. What I mean is that we can all get up. We all get up some days and we can feel gung-ho and positive, or we can get up and we can be like, oh, God. But it's not just about being up or down. This could also be linked into his health, okay? His mental faculties, okay? Putting it nicely. It depends if he's having a good day or a bad day, is what I'm hearing, in terms of, before I even read his cards, it depends whether he's having a good day or a bad day as to his intention. It's weird. With Biden, I just get this energy. It's almost like he'd much prefer to just be at home with a pipe and slippers in front of the fire with Jill. But he's not. Show me the energy of Joe Biden, please, going into this conference. He doesn't really want to be there, is the first thing I'm hearing. I'm feeling he just wants to be at home, curled up in front of the fire. It's got nothing to do with his age, by the way, the fact I've said that he wants to be at home in front of the fire with his pipe and slippers. It's just, that's the whole energy of it. It's like, don't really want to be there. Six of coins, yeah, but he is there because he's there to trade. Money, money, money. In a rich man's world. Yep. Oh, yes. Money, money, money. 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Page of coins on the bottom of the deck. So he might offer something, but it's going to be quite minimal. See the little deer there? It's not a king, it's a prince. I don't mean he's a prince. I just mean that his offering is, he does a gesture. He gives some money. He gives some money. Show me his intention. Show me his energy and his intention, please. Show me his energy and his intention. The Sun and the Magician. Sorry, that's Bella. Have you got something to say about Joe Biden, Bella? We've also got the energy of death for him as well. Not physical death, but why have we got the energy of death? Got the energy of death for both Boris and Biden. That's interesting in itself, isn't it? It's really hard to read Joe Biden because it literally is. It's like, which one have you got? Which one are you reading? On which day are you reading his energy? On a good day, he does want to make a difference. We've got the Sun and the Magician. I'll come back to the death thing in a minute. The sun is shining on me. I know the world is looking at me. I mustn't slip up. It could be also read that I want to leave a legacy for the children. I'm talking the world's children. You know, I want to give something back to help families. Can I conjure something out of the box? Can I magic something out of the box? But again, he's trapped, you see. He's also trapped. Ten of Swords as well is also on the bottom of the deck. And then we've also got the Nine of Cups. So I'm just taking them from the bottom of this deck. Similar cards to Boris. Nine of Cups. There is a wish at some level of being. Yeah, it'd be quite nice if we could do something here. Why have we got the Death card? Clarification on the Death card, please. It's quite a graphic Death card, this one as well. Look at that. Oh, I don't like that card. I don't like that card. Can you see the eyes behind that mask? Can you see the eyes behind that mask? Oh, I don't like this energy, guys. I don't like this energy. What you see is not what you get. I'm going to move away from this energy. The King of Cups, who you can see clearly in this card. You can see clearly who that is, the face. Is not the King of Cups. There's something hidden in plain sight. Okay, I'm getting onto dodgy territory here, so you're going to have to put two and two together. It's just sage. White sage. Metatron's trying to lighten the mood. I know I'm going to offend a hell of a lot of people here, but I'm going to say it. I'm hearing him say, what a rabble. What a rabble. Because it's literally, it's like, when he says that, he's saying it with humour, because it's like, come on. Is this the best that we can bring to the world stage? Are these the best leaders that we can find? Because it's almost like they're representing us. We can't judge them. We're all hiding behind a mask. We're all hoping it goes away. We're all hoping that the coral is all happy and vibrant underneath the sea. It's not. It's dying. It's time to wake up. The leaders just reflect us. They reflect our apathy. They reflect the fact that we just shuffle bits of paper around the desk a lot of the time. A lot of people do. You might not, but a lot of people do. They don't care. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about Mother Earth. They don't care how they leave it. It's sad. Right, okay, where do we go now? Should we now just get even more controversial and go to Greta Thunberg? Let's do that. There's a card for Greta that I was going through this deck the other day. This is the Sacred Earth Oracle. And there's a card in here where I really think it looks like her. Having said that, I pulled it out and now I can't find it. It's a card of perception. If it's meant to come out, it'll come out again. Anyway, I'm going to pull some cards for Greta. Where's that card gone? Oh, here it is. Do you think that looks like her? I do. Do you? I do. I was taken aback. I was doing a reading on something else, and then her energy came into my awareness. I thought, blimey, that looks like Greta Thunberg. Anyway, I'm going to put her back into the pack, and I'm going to pull some tarot cards for her as well. Let's get a different tarot deck. Let's get this one, the Spirit Song Tarot. This feels like it suits her. Greta Thunberg. So I believe she hasn't officially been invited, but she's invited herself. She arrived in Glasgow on the 31st with a huge... She was virtually mobbed. She was pretty much mobbed. What I could see, I mean, obviously I'm only seeing what people show you in the media, but it looked like there was a lot of young people around her. A lot of young people. A big youth movement. She was completely and utterly mobbed, like a rock star. So whether you like her or not, she has influence, but her influence, she's one of the ones outside the building, you know? There's a card that's just shot out there. What is that? That's the Four of Feathers, Sanctuary and Rest. Okay, not quite sure what that one means yet, but it might just mean that she's tired. Okay, let's have a look. Greta Thunberg's energy and intentions going into COP26. Page of Crystals, Ideas and Discipline. And we've got the card of Awakening on the bottom of the deck. She's coming into it with a creative spirit. Yes, it's a fox, but I'm hearing cunning like a fox. Foxes are able to sniff out what they need. They usually survive as well. We've got a fox, often see them in our road, and sometimes they can be very thin actually. They're wild foxes. But they always seem to find food from somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, the point is we've got for her ideas, creativity, and we've got awakening. She's here to wake people up. I want to say wake the F up, actually. And actually, she gave an interview yesterday with Andrew Marr. I don't know if any of you saw it in the UK, but she was taught, he asked her about protest and was it okay. No, something about protest. And what she effectively said was something like, what were her actual words? She said something along the lines of, I'm meant to piss people off. That was basically what she was saying. She was saying there's nothing wrong with basically pissing people off, because effectively what she was saying is that's how you wake people up. She has got steel around her. I just see steel around her. I'm talking here about protection. Very, very protected. She doesn't care who she irritates. I mean, you know, I remember back those pictures of her and Trump. You know, she didn't care. She does not care who the person is, whatever their status is. She has got a message, and whether you like her message or not, whether you agree with her message or not, she is part of the awakening of this planet. She's a starseed. She came for this purpose, to help wake people up. Even if she wakes you up to the fact, I really don't like what she's saying, and let's look into it. Or it might be the other side of the coin, which is like, yeah, she's 100% right, we're going to get behind her. She is a pivotal force going forward. Okay, going into COP26. You all right, Bella? It's interesting that Bella's just moved, and she's sat. There's Bella. Say hello to everyone, Belly. It's just interesting where she's just manoeuvred herself to, because she's sat in front of a painting there that's going to be part of the new Christ Consciousness deck that I'm doing with Jane Delaford Taylor. And the painting is linked into, it shows Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. And I can't remember what the card's going to be called, but the idea is really, it's all about sisterhood and the divine feminine working together. And Bella's just planted herself right beside it as we're talking about Greta Thunberg, and is grounding that energy. Interesting. Okay, let's put a few more cards. Ooh. Greta Thunberg. her energy and her intentions going into COP26. The Knight of Feathers, action and focus. These creatures with her, they're sort of slinky. They know how to get where they need to be. They sort of maneuver themselves into, she's going to be centre stage. You know, it's interesting that the world leaders have all gathered with all their glitter and glamour, and the wives and, you know, the partners are there, and it's like, oh, you know, what's Jill Biden wearing today? What's Carrie wearing today? I'm only talking about them because I don't know the names of all the other wives and partners of people, but it's like, no, she's going to make sure she's centre stage, Greta Thunberg, and she's going to be wearing a pair of jeans and a holy t-shirt, you know, and a canvas bag over her shoulder. And it's the complete opposite energy of the other, okay? It's duality. I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong. It's duality. Again, whether you like her or not, she's showing duality. She's showing the other side. So yeah, we've got the, this is the Knight of Feathers, action and focus. That would be the Knight of Pentacles. I've got my eye, look at this. It's like, I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you. I can see what you're doing. Show me her overall energy, please. Greta Thunberg, show me her overall energy, please. The Two of Acorns, insight and focus. She's all about the mission. She came in with a very focused mission, and she's going to see it through no matter what. Make no mistake of it, no matter what. She's going absolutely nowhere. In fact, the more that you try and push her under, the more she's going to grow. So, Two of Acorns, insight and focus. She sees the higher perspective. Again, we've got the eagle energy. She sees the higher perspective. She's seeing it from much. She's seeing it. What I'm being shown is she's seeing the world 20 years hence, 30 years hence, 200 years hence, 1,000 years hence, maybe not that far, Metatron's saying, certainly 200 years hence. And she talks in that language because I do feel there's an aspect to her where she's a bit of a time traveller. And I feel that she's come back from the future. She's seen something in the future that is deeply disturbing, linked into our environment and our planet. And that's why she will not shut up. But having said that, it doesn't mean that you can't change the timelines, because you can. King of Shells on the bottom of the deck, King of Cups, harmony and integrity, the Seahorse. The seahorse as a animal totem seems to be very significant for her for some reason. Why am I saying that? I don't know. It's just that the seahorse is able to dance in water. It's able to flow. It's able to bob its way up to the surface and dive down to the deepest depths of the ocean. It's an object of curiosity as well. It's an object of curiosity. There's something about her that, again, whether you like her or don't like her, it's like you can't help look. You can't help but look. You know? You can't help but look. Right. Let's pull some cards on the movement behind her. I'm talking here about the people that follow her. A couple of cards on who does she represent. Okay, show me the people she represents. Greta Thunberg, show me the energy she represents. The Three of Feathers, which would be the Three of Pentacles, I think, in this deck. Working together, community. Working together, community. The Butterfly. Transformation and change. Release and recovery. She's representing people who genuinely believe that we need to change our ways. There needs to be an ending of one way, a release, and a recovery that needs to come in. Three of Acorns as well on the top of the deck, so double three energy. Again, the giraffe, the one that's able to see higher, has foresight, exploration. Yeah. She was definitely divinely chosen for the role that she's got at the moment. And she's here to shake up the world, and she will, and she has, and she will continue to do so. Right, let me just see where I want to go next. Let me have some water. I'm going to pull some cards for what Mother Earth would like to say. Before we do that, I'd like to pull from this deck a card for Boris, Biden, and Greta. I'll do one other leader, and I'll see who comes into my awareness. But let's just pull a card here for Boris. This is a different deck. This is the, I don't know, it's the Sacred Earth Oracle, I think. Boris Johnson, going into COP26. Boris Johnson, COP26. Shift. Yeah, it's what I've said to you. He honestly wants people to, he does want people to shift. He's literally trying to get people to shift position. Whether he's able to do that is a completely and utterly different matter, because on the bottom of the deck, we've got the energy of repetition. They don't want to shift. They don't want to evolve. They just want to keep on making the same, going round in the same old circles. But yeah, shift. It also feels as though he's actually had a shift in perception. You see, we have to allow this. As soon as you talk any political leader, all of us get triggered to a degree because we all have strong opinions on our political leaders. But we have to also allow them the opportunity to be able to change moment to moment, day to day, just like we can. You know, you can shift in your perceptions. So can they. He's having a shift at the moment. He's having, I don't know whether he's having a bit of an awakening at the moment going on. I mean, there's lots of people would say, no, he's not, based on what he's doing in the UK with regards to other things. But this is just purely on the environment I'm talking. He's leaning towards Mother Earth. Okay, I'm being told it's also because of where he's at in his life. He's got a young baby or young boy. Is it Noah? He's got Noah, and his wife's pregnant again. He's got another baby on the way. I mean, Boris has got an awful lot of children anyway, but he's got another baby on the way. So, and maybe it's that thing about however many children you have, and hopefully he's been a good father to many of them he's already got who are grown up now. But, you know, I think the older you get, it's like you start to, what am I trying to say? When you first have a child, especially when you're younger, let's face it, none of us really know what we're doing. We don't. And then you have another one and you get a bit better at it, maybe. And I would imagine if you then have another gap of, 20 years or so, you have another go. And then it's like, right, I'm really going to roll my sleeves up now. I really think I'm ready for this role now. You know, I've cut my teeth on the first few kids. It's that sort of energy with him. It feels as though his young child, I've said this before in another video about Noah, I think he is called Noah. Noah's energy is shifting his dad in terms of the environment. Okay, so that's Boris's card. Let's pull a card for Biden from the same deck. The sun's getting a bit bright, never mind. Solar flare. Let's pull the same deck, Biden. Show me Biden's energy. Biden, COP26. Show me where he's at. His cards were a bit all over the place because it's like what day we're going to get with him. But let's just see. Biden, space, an alliance on the bottom of the deck. He's going to keep alliances to the same people, the same countries that he always does. But the card of space, I just get the feeling he doesn't want to be there, guys. I'm sorry, but that is what I feel. It's like, give me space. Get me out of this room. Let me have space to think. Let me have space to breathe. You know, being with all of these other leaders and I'm feeling all the ties and I just want to get this tie off. I want to take the shirt off. Just give me space. Something else that I'm not getting. Metatron, help me here. That card of space for Biden. I'm hearing empty space. I've also got a song in my head. This is really random. I said about Joseph at the beginning, didn't I? I talked about Joseph, father of Jesus. I'm now hearing Joseph. You know, Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I'm hearing that song about there's one more star in heaven, there's one more star in the sky. Joseph will never forget you. It's tough, but we're gonna get by. Isn't Joe Biden, Joseph, Joe? It's Bella again doing that. Every time I mention Joe Biden. Don't know what you're trying to tell me, Belly. There's one more space at our table. There's one more star in the sky. Joseph will never forget you. It's tough, but we're gonna get by. You know that song? That's basically when the brothers have sold him out. The brothers have sold him out into slavery, basically, in the story of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and they just washed their hands of him. Alliance. I think that if I was him, if I was advising him, I would say don't trust some of those people around that table, Joe. Don't trust some of those people around that table. The whole energy of this for the conference itself is like everyone's out for themselves. And I feel there's an energy with Joe Biden where sometimes, and I know he's a respected politician in America and has been for years. I know lots of people don't like him, but I'm talking about he's had decades in politics. So he's not naive. He knows the way things work. But there's just an energy with him at the moment where he's vulnerable and other people are taking advantage of that vulnerability. And I think it's not just within his own circle, it's other leaders around the world who I wouldn't trust them. I would not trust them, Joe. Okay, let's pull a card for Greta. Did I pull a card for Greta from this deck? No. Let's pull one card for her. And then who else shall we do? You're probably all shouting at me now. Greta, she's got balance. Yeah, she's just wanting to help bring things back into balance. And again, we've got the two women there, like Bella sitting by the two figures of Mary. Greta Thunberg, I mean, she appeals to men and women, but there's a big pull to women in particular. She's got the card of balance. Look at this. It's like she's wanting... I mean, it's quite simplistic, actually, in some ways. It's like, let's just all hold hands. It's a bit kumbaya. Sorry to be so rude, but that's what it feels like. But you got to start somewhere, is what I'm also hearing. Come on, get together. Hold hands, be nice. It's that type of energy. Right, I'm going to just look at the news and I'm going to see which leader is in the news linked into COP26. I'm not going to do Nicola Sturgeon because that's another UK reference. Let's just see who we've got. Oh, okay. Should we do Macron? Yes, let's do Macron. I must admit, the pictures of him, he looked very pleased with himself. Right, let's get a totally different deck for Macron. What should we use? The Field Tarot. My favourite tarot deck at the moment. I keep saying that. Macron of France. Yeah, I'm just going off the body language when I say he looked very pleased with himself. There was a hilarious photograph. I think this was on the 31st when they were all arriving, and Three of Swords has just flown out of the deck for him. But anyway, I'll put that back in because I wasn't properly tuned in. Because we've got. Is it called mackerel wars, or there's like a trade war going on at the moment between the UK and France over fishing rights, and it's all getting a bit nasty. And there's this picture of Boris is basically climbing up the stairs, going towards Macron, who's got this look on his face as if, he's just looking a bit cocky, to be perfectly honest. Boris is there a bit like the bumbling Boris we all know and love. And then I'm sure that Trudeau wasn't doing it, but it looks like Trudeau is trying to hold Boris back. It's such a funny photograph. Oh, God. I can't take any of it very seriously, to be honest. But, watch the people outside the conference. This is what I keep hearing. It's like that's where the real action occurs with you and me. I want to do some cards for the protesters as well. Right, Macron. Let's focus on Macron. Anything to say with Macron, Bella? Not even bothering to open her eyes. Okay. Let's get serious. Emmanuel Macron. Likes to think he's the king is what I'm hearing. Eight of Discs, dedication. Works hard. Give him that. Works hard. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Eight of Swords, isolation. Feeling a bit trapped. Works hard, but feeling a bit trapped. Not sure whether that's anything to do particularly with COP26 or whether it's just how he's feeling at the moment. But anyway, let's make it specific. What are his intentions and energy, please, going into COP26? Emmanuel Macron, his intentions and energy going into COP26. Two of Cups, union. Oh, he wants to make love with somebody. I'm talking here symbolically. It's like he really wants to schmooze up to somebody. I'm not quite sure who this is. I'm talking politics. You know, this is like, I want to get into bed with you politically. Who's he got his eye on? He's a game player, Macron, is what I'm feeling. He's got his eye on somebody. He's got his eye on a particular deal. He knows what he wants and he's going to get it. Nothing else in this card apart from those two parties, whoever those two countries are, or, you know, organisations. It's Macron and the other. It's like, where are the other 200 countries? Excuse me, where are the other 200 countries? Where's everybody else? No, it's like when you fall in love and it's like nothing else matters apart from that other person. You eat, sleep and drink the other person. That's what he's consumed by thinking about. I keep hearing getting into bed with somebody, but it's not a person. It's a deal or a country. Could it be Trudeau? Just got Trudeau coming into my consciousness now. That's an image, Trudeau and Macron. Anyway, let's it could be Trudeau. Maybe I'll pull a couple of cards for Trudeau as well, but let me just do finish Macron. Okay, Macron's energy and intentions going into COP26. This is odd. I stand by what I've just said to you in terms of he's got his eye on a deal or getting into bed with a country. But there's a lot of feminine energy around him here. It's almost like he's distracted. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, yes. You see, look, I've got the devil on the bottom of the deck with all these women. I mean, hopefully it's the lady he's married to, who he's deeply still in lust with and, you know, all the rest of it. I don't know. He's got women on his mind. Or his woman on his mind. Maybe he likes the fact that she looks a certain way. Gets a bit, you know, likes the fact that she... what's the expression? Brush it... Oh, what's the expression? You know, you brush up well. Brush up well? That's not quite the expression. You know what I mean. Yeah, you brush up well. She looks good on the world stage when she's got all her finery on. I don't know what I'm getting into here. I don't think I want to know what I'm getting into. I don't know. I feel his eyes off the ball. It's weird. It's like he's very tunnel vision. He's there for one reason and one reason only. Other than that, his energy's sort of bit like something's catching his eye. Queen of Discs, pregnancy, manifestation. I'm going to use a different deck because I'm not sure here. Because I've gone down a certain alley here with Macron, which is a bit weird. Let me just pull from another deck. Have one more card for Macron, please. Okay, that one. I think that's the King of Swords. And the Ace of Cups, yeah, on the bottom of the deck. And the Lovers. Who knows? I don't even want to blinking know, to be perfectly honest. It's his life, isn't it? I just wonder whether there's there's something else going on, maybe in his personal life. Wouldn't surprise me. He shouldn't be thinking about that though at this time anyway, but I'm going to stand by what I've said. Okay, Trudeau came in a little bit, so let's just pull a couple of cards for Trudeau. Let's just do it. We're sitting down here doing this. Which deck should we have for Trudeau? I assume Justin Trudeau's there. Let's just check he is. I would have thought we'd have heard if he wasn't. Oh yeah, I saw him, that's right, I saw him in the photograph, yeah. Okay, Justin Trudeau. It's interesting I said that, is he actually there? But I'd actually seen his photograph. It's like, is he there or isn't he there? He slips in, he slips out. He's there, but he's not there. He's there for the photo shoots, but... is he actually there? This is the whole thing. That's what I'm feeling with Macron. It's like, yeah, are you actually there? Are any of these people actually there for the right reasons? They might be there, but are they actually there? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Being present, being focused on Mother Earth. Are any of them actually there for that reason? Justin Trudeau. Please show me Justin Trudeau's energy. The Three of Pentacles, growth. We've had the Three of Pentacles a few times now, haven't we, for a few of them? So, I mean, you know, positively, that could be good. It's like they're trying to plant some seeds, working together, community. Again, there's something here about I want to be top dog. Look at that. I want to be top dog. I want to be the seed that grows bigger than anybody else. And everyone looks at and says, oh, look at that. Look at Trudeau. Look at Boris. Look at Macron. They're all like competing to, you know. I don't feel that so much with Biden, though. With him, it feels more sort of, he's there under duress. I still feel that. Right. Justin Trudeau, what can you tell me, please, Spirit? Justin Trudeau and COP26. What's his energy and intentions? It's funny as I've just started to shuffle the cards slower. I'm feeling it's like he wants to slow it all down. Oppression. That's a weird card, isn't it? Breakthrough. Stagnation. He doesn't know what he wants. Maybe his hands are tied back home. Maybe it could be to do with that. Does he want breakthrough or doesn't he? I mean, it couldn't be more conflicting energies. Stagnation or breakthrough. Oppression or growth. It's totally conflicting, isn't it? My light's gone off. I've just noticed that my light's gone off. As I said that. The shine's gone off is what I'm hearing with him. By the way, when I'm saying all this stuff in my videos about these leaders, I truly... when I say I don't care, I really don't. I'm so beyond this current batch of leaders that we've got in all of the countries, really. I'm excited about the next generation to come. So please don't be offended. I'm just going for it in this video because there's no reason not to. Why is my light not coming back on? Interesting that is. Is it blown? Oh, there we go. Right. Justin Trudeau, please show me Mestron. I still don't quite understand what's going on with him. COP26. Negative thinking. Son of Earth. He doesn't feel in a very good space to me. at all, energetically. He feels very, I mean, look at the cards. They say, you know, you don't need to be a tarot card reader to be able to understand these cards. Stagnation, oppression, and negative thinking. But yeah, I want to bring something to the table. I want to bring something to the table. I do want there to be some growth. I do want there to be some breakthrough. But I'm feeling a very, very flat energy from him. Very flat. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of activity coming from him, or I don't know, weird one. Okay, what should we do now? Should we have a look at guidance from Spirit? I think, oh, Mother Earth. We haven't done Mother Earth. That's my stomach grumbling. Apologies if you can hear that. Let's have some water. Ooh. Apologies. So unladylike. I've now thrown it all down my top. So I'm not going to apologise, actually. I'm sorry. Actually, I just did apologise. That is so British. It's like, in Britain, we have this funny thing whereby if somebody walks into you, you say, I'm sorry. At least we've got a sense of humour. Right. Mother Earth. Mother Earth. What do you wish to say, Mother Earth? Let's spray the earth energy, actually. This is the earth elemental. What, Mother Earth, what message do you have for us, please, at this time? Yay, I mean, look, come on. Look. Solar flare preceded the start of COP26. I mean, I haven't used this deck for ages. It's the 5th tarot. It's a great deck. I'd forgotten this card was even in the deck. It shows a solar flare. And it's transformation. And look. I mean, God, look at this card. The sun flaring towards Mother Earth, asking us to transform. With the card of the Hierophant, which in this deck is the Shaman. To go back to our roots. To put her first. To go back to the forests, to go back to the wise ones, to go back to the elders. To go back to the indigenous people. To go back to our roots, to listen to them. This is the whole thing, you see. It's not about Biden or Trudeau or Boris or Macron or any of them. I mean, yes, it is at one level, at a 3D level, because obviously that's the way the world goes round. But we, the people, can change it. These flares, and I'm saying flares, I feel like there may be another one, before COP26 is out, are not just highlighting COP26, they are activating us around the globe. They're activating us around the globe. I'm going to have to shut that curtain. I can't see. Hold on. It's all right, Bella. I know you like the sun, but... You see what I'm doing, I'm afraid. It's better. Let's put some incense on. Because our shaman is burning some incense there. I just feel we need to do that at this point. So, very clear message then from Mother Earth. Transform. And I'm hearing it as a command. Transform. I think it might be useful to also just bring Joseph in now and channel his energy a little bit. It's clear what Mother Earth wants us to do. Okay. I can't believe how accurate those cards are. And we've got this one again, the Nine of Fire. That was on the bottom of the deck. I've just shuffled it and it's come out again. It's the volcano. La Palma. Look at the volcano. Have you actually been watching the footage of what's happening out there? I mean, it's extraordinary. The power of that volcano. It's just going and going and going, taking away towns. When nature speaks, she can make the whole world stop. Okay? But we need to learn the lessons. Feels as though maybe there'll be another volcano that goes off or erupts around this time, joining the one in La Palma. I don't know. Okay. Let me just bring in the energy of Joseph. Joseph. Father of Jesus, Joseph. So he's again just wanting us to remind us about humbleness. And again, I'm being shown him barefoot. I'm being shown the big palace or wherever it is that they're all gathering, and the grand food and the fancy clothes and the money. Going back to those original cards we had, all the money and the deals and all the rest of it. Outside the world is hungry. Isn't that the truth? We don't like to look at that, but outside the world is hungry. There's a huge portion of the world that's hungry and is impacted by what's happening with our climate. Walk the path, he's saying, walk the path. Follow me and walk the path. It's back to sort of honouring nature and trades and what we can give to each other, what we can exchange with each other. Yeah, look at that. The Empress cards has just flown out the deck. The Empress energy. It's back to the Empress. The energy of the Empress, Mother Earth, Gaia. Abundance, fertility. What a beautiful card that is. Can you see that card? The Empress is standing on Mother Earth. That's what Joseph is wanting us to focus on. And it's like we are the Empress. We are the Empress. Okay. Anything else to say, please, with regard to COP26? Let's just have a quick look at protests. Protests. Show me an energy around protests. Can you hear that police car? There's a police car. So there's going to be, I'm sure there is a massive police presence, but I'm feeling the police are needed. Three of Swords, King of Cups. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the right deck. Hold on. Maybe I don't need a deck. The police siren says it all is what Metatron's saying. There's going to be disorder. Stay safe, everybody. Oh, okay. Yeah, because he's shown me this card again now. All these little volcanoes going off is all of the protests. Hotheads. I don't mean that rudely, I just mean people, very heated passions, Fire, lots of fire. Sending protection and love out to our police forces as well. Yeah, Nine of Swords. I think the police are quite... I'm picking up the fear of the police, of the people having to guard this whole situation. Seven of Cups, choices. They don't know the way, they don't know how things are going to go either. How people are going to behave. Is it going to go off peacefully or not? Anything else to say with regard to people's protest? People's protest. People's protest. COP26. People's protest. Ten of Wands, burden and new beginnings. Yeah, makes sense. There's a lot of people who care very passionately about our environment. You might be one of them. The burden has become too great. The concern, the worry, want a fresh new start. I'm going to go back to the first cards that I did. You know, it's linked into, we've got the choice, haven't we, between being a diminishing planet. And Father God is quite worried about this. Not worried in terms of that we're going to blow ourselves up or anything like that, because Spirit will always step in, but just concern would be a better way to put it. Concern about the way things are going. And the other alternative to that was the card that we had representing Eden. I've got so many cards out now on my table. I can't even see where it is, but it was here somewhere. Yeah. Oh, here. Choice. Hopefully we choose this. Abundance, plenty. But it's going to require some changes and some choices. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope it was I think it was interesting. Let's hope, maybe it might be nice just to end with a little prayer. Let's hope that Mother Earth is placed centre stage over these next 12 days, that the leaders can bring out the best of the Three of Pentacles energy, which is the energy of community and working together via creative means and ways, seeing the higher perspective, that money, which has been featuring heavily in all of these readings, can be distributed fairly and evenly to all, and that everything is done in plain sight. Accountability, responsibility, fairness, truth, and for the seeds of 5D Earth to be able to be seeded and bear fruit. Take care, everybody. It's messed up. Much love. Say bye-bye to Bella as well. There she is. See you all soon. Bye for now. Bye. I'll be back soon with, what's the next video going to be? I'm going to do the 11/11 portal video. That's going to be up, obviously, in good time for the 11th. But I don't know. I never quite know what I'm going to be doing from one week to the next with Metatron. But it was a very strong need to get this video out today. Take care. Please like and share this video if it's resonated with you. Bye-bye for now. Bye.